Every year, multiple studies come out with reports of weightlifting causing injuries in adolescent athletes. Because weightlifting is tough on teenagers' bodies, it's even tougher if you do it competitively. Just down the road in Basehor-Linwood High School hosts the annual powerlifting meet, which has made Basehor-Linwood powerlifting an institution. 5 straight boys state titles and 8 straight for the girls. Now, none of this would be possible without the proper technique.
The saying goes, when at first you don't succeed, try again. Especially at the Basehor-Linwood powerlifting meet.
It's grown, and where we are, it's nice because we can pull from Missouri, we've pulled from Nebraska, and obviously a lot of Kansas high schools.
For this meet, the score is a combination weight of bench, squat, and clean hand. Something that Austin Salazar is learning to master.
It's a senior year. He's looking forward to going to state. Hopefully he'll break some records. Hopefully he'll make it this year.
Because last year, it wasn't ability that kept him out of state.
And so with the week going to that event, he's just working technique, and he had a technical breakdown, put himself in a bad position, was using too much weight, and what he was saying was technique. The bone couldn't handle the stress.
The stress caused his arm to snap into a 45-degree angle.
I just looked at it, and I was just like, Coach, like I need to go to the hospital.
They set the cast, they set it wrong, and they had to re-break his arm again.
So 6 weeks of healing turned into like 12 weeks of healing.
These are the type of injuries sports medicine physician Luis Salazar sees all the time.
By the time they come to me as a sports medicine physician, it's usually an injury that brings them in. And so I use that as an opportunity to actually educate.
And even though he sees patients because of injury, he still feels the burden of knowledge needs to be on the athlete.
You know, if you're in the teen years, you're making a transition now from being an adolescent athlete to a mature athlete. So you have to take some personal responsibility and being aware of your physical limitations.
Which is why 2 of the best coaches in the Midwest feel technique behind weightlifting is so important.
Everything in a weight room isn't supposed to be about weight, it's supposed to be about the movement.
We really stress technique, most of us as coaches, and don't let the weight get in the way of that technique.
And this is what allows Austin to keep competing.
I think that he's tightened up everything. He's tightened up his technique. The fact is his numbers aren't there quite yet. He's building the foundation, and he'll end up getting it.
Even with his numbers lowered, he still finished the meet with a combined weight of 1,070 pounds. Reporting in Basehor, Hank Cavanero, KUJH Sports.
Basehor-Linwood managed another meet title on the women's side, but came in second on the men's side to Belton High School from Missouri.
And Kansas tennis was in action over the weekend in the Jayhawk Tennis Center, defeating Colorado 4-1. Stay undefeated on the season. KUJH reporter Tiffany Littler has more on how the Jayhawks stayed perfect against the Buffaloes over the weekend.
The Kansas tennis team remains undefeated after beating North Texas on Saturday. The Jayhawks are looking to keep their winning streak alive today here against Colorado. Nina Melnitka and Janet Cook started the doubles off strong for the Jayhawks, defeating their opponents 6-2. Smith Hitton and Anastasia Richardova followed suit, winning 6 love. Maria Cardona and Summer Collins were unfinished with a score of 2-4. Smith Hitton sealed the win for the Jayhawks in their singles match by rallying back from 2 match points.
I was down 5-3, 40 love, and I was just like, okay, I'm just take 1 point at a time.
Freshman Yanette Koch defeated her opponent in just 2 sets. When asked how he has been keeping the team motivated, head coach Todd Chapman had this to say.
It wasn't any different. Every match, it's the same exact things we talk about: controlling the controllables, effort, attitude, energy, be a good teammate, and compete.
KU defeated Colorado 4-1 to push their record to 6-0. For KUJH Sports, I'm Tiffany Littler.
The Jayhawks don't compete again for almost 3 weeks. Their next opponent will be against in-state foe Wichita State in Lawrence on Friday, February 26th.
This season's currently undefeated tennis team has players from all over the world on the roster. KUJH reporter Jen Halverson has more on the international element that KU's tennis team brings to the table this season.
The Kansas women's tennis team is filled with international flavor this year. Girls from South Africa, Russia, and Chile have come to compete in the Big 12 Conference. We caught up with Anastasia Richigova today to find out how she's adjusting to the new style of play.
It's definitely different, but I think I have a lot of support here from my coaches and from my teammates, so it's much easier to play in here because like I didn't really feel I had as much support I have here.
Richagova has competed all over the world, winning numerous junior opens in her early years. She has quickly established herself on the team as the #1 contender, even snagging the coveted Big 12 Player of the Week status.
She's not one that's ever going to quit. And so from that standpoint, it's infectious for our team. And so them seeing the confidence she has in herself, no matter what the situation is big for the rest of them to see that.
Although Richagova is in her first year at KU, she's not the only one getting a shot at the starting lineup. 3 out of the 4 starters this season are from other countries, and all happen to be freshmen. The undefeated Jayhawks are becoming known for their consistency and strength to persevere in the last few sets, ultimately winning each match. Coach Chapman says that this is their key to success.
Focus is still on playing our best tennis as the year goes on, getting better and better, and all for each of them. We're such a young team right now. In our mind, if we continue to develop each player, then as a team, all the accolades we want or the goals we may have are going to take care of themselves.
Reporting for KUJH Sports, I'm Jen Halverson.
You can catch the undefeated, internationally diverse Jayhawks in action a little under 3 weeks from now when they take on Wichita State at the Jayhawk Tennis Center on February 26th.
The Kansas track and field team had a successful outing at the Husker Invitational on Saturday. Senior Casey Bowen notched a victory in the pole vault for the second straight year, coming out top in a 26-man field. 3 Jayhawks also entered the school's all-time top 10 in the 800-meter charts. Junior Whitney Adams had a career best time in the 800 meters, moving her among the top 25 in the NCAA ranks. And junior Strymar Livingston messed up his name last week, got it this time, followed Adams' lead, and also had a career best performance in the 800 meters. And sophomore Antonio Humphrey Jr. rounded out the trio, picking up his 5th individual victory of the season in the early section of the 800 meters. Next weekend, the Jayhawks will split a pair of meets, with half the travel to Fayetteville, Arkansas for the Tyson Invitational, and the other half headed to Ames, Iowa for the ISU Classic.
And the Kansas swim and dive team finished its impressive dual season yesterday with another strong outing, back on Saturday rather, defeating conference foe Iowa State at Beyer Pool in Ames. Saturday's win marked the Jayhawks' 3rd straight winning weekend, closing out their dual season slate with a 9-4 record. Saturday's win also marked KU's first victory in Ames in over 6 years. The team has a 2-week break before heading to Austin, Texas for the Big 12 championships from February 24th through the 27th.